Alright guys, and today we'll be talking about the offseason predictions for the Washington Wizards. So before we do these predictions, I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think they'll do? Why will they do it? And why? Okay? Let's get right into today's video. Like and subscribe for NBA coverage of every single team. Over 150 videos a month. So let's get right into it. Look, the Wizards had a roller coaster year. We started off the year. Look, Michael Jordan jersey hanging there. I've had that jersey for like maybe 20 years. I'm 22, so I've had that since I was like 5. Anyway, the Wizards, we started the year 10-3, okay? One of the best franchise starts in history, I guess. And then we went 25-44 for the rest of the way, ending with a record of 35-47. There was injuries, illnesses, that all played a decline. And of course, Bradley Beal being hurt. And now look, Bradley Beal is eligible to be a free agent. And I don't think he's going anywhere. He's eligible for the $245 million Supermax, which they do consistently say that they plan to offer him. And you're thinking, why do you think he's going to say? Because they played Kristaps Porzingis at the end of the year. And Corey Kesper played good. Contavious Caldwell-Pope played good. And even Denny Avdia had some moments, and the rest of the roster was doing well. So this is where I want to hear your thoughts. Look, that's my thought. Because look, Bradley Beal is pleased with how President and General Manager Tommy Shepard was able to extract the Wizards out from under Davis Bertans' deal into getting Kristaps Porzingis. And he was impressed by Shepard's work improving the roster the past 2 summers, okay? And the thing is, unless there's a significant change of heart, which it doesn't seem like, he's going to take the bag and stay in Washington. Plus, you want to be where you're wanted. You don't want to be where you're not wanted. And is the right long-term plan for now having Bradley Beal on the books for an average $49 million a year for the next 5 years going to hamper the Wizards' ability to make other moves? And at his best, Bradley Beal maybe still is an all-NBA talent who is one of the top 5 best scorers in the league. He's a 3-level scorer. He's a first-rate guy. And by all accounts, he's a great teammate. Face of the franchise, sure. But is it still an overpay? Yeah. But there's a difference between being the best player on one of the 30 teams and being worth a supermax. There's no insult to this, but there's very few guys that have shown that they're worth it. But still, fairness dictates to look at the other end of the scope. Bradley Beal healthy alongside a healthy Kristaps Porzingis and a Kyle Kuzma is pretty dynamic. And the scoring trio right there would be a lot interesting, really interesting, for Coach Wes Unseld Jr. to use all 3 of them on the floor together with Porzingis at power forward, Kyle Kuzma Kristaps Porzingis at center, Kyle Kuzma at power forward, Bradley Beal at shooting guard, potentially Denny Avdia or Corey Kesper or Contavious Caldwell-Pope at the small forward position, and then bring back John Wall in the mid-level exception. The thing is all 3 of them on the floor, Bradley Beal, Porzingis, and Kuzma, the pick and rolls between Beal and Porzingis or Kuzma and Porzingis. Look, Porzingis is also really good at elbows, and he's had a career-high assists with the Wizards, and he created a lot of passing opportunities from there. And Wes Unseld clearly took some plays from the Nuggets playbook that they used Nikola Jokic out of the elbow, and he utilized it with Kristaps. And yeah, I know it looked a little bit like a Princeton offense, but I think you have to think about it. Bradley Beal's never played with a big this talented offensively before. And yes, 5 years, $245 million could be an overpay, but he's an all-NBA player. But he's not first team. He's probably second or third. Now, I expect a full bounce-back year from him. Now, from an outside observer, you could say some fans might prefer that they sign and trade Bradley Beal for a bunch of other players. I don't think so. They're going to sign Bradley Beal. Now, also, they have the 10th pick in the draft, and currently, right now, I have them taking Dyson Daniels. Okay, Dyson Daniels, he grew. He's tall as hell now. I think last report he was at least 6'6", maybe up to 6'8" now, and he was a point guard, but he's in the body of a 6'8" guy, so I think Dyson Daniels, next to Bradley Beal, either Denny Avdia, Corey Kesper, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, then Kyle Kuzma, who's going to be backed up probably by Rui Hachimura, then Kristaps Porzingis will be backed up by Daniel Gafford. I kind of like that. They don't have a 2nd-round pick this year, so I have them going. If they stay with the 10th pick, Dyson Daniels seem like the guy they could get. There's also chatter about Malcolm Brogdon. He has $43 million left on the deal, and you could say if you're going to give the Wizards going to give the Supermax, and they already have $7 million to Porzingis, and they have the intentions to re-sign Kyle Kuzma, plus either Rui Hachimura or Deni Avdija. I would go Deni Avdija. Rui Hachimura, we know what he is. And then the other one is the Orlando Magic. They have Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton, Markelle Fultz, and Jalen Suggs. Anthony and Suggs are on their rookie deals, and they played Anthony and Fultz together down the stretch, but the best version of Fultz is when he has the ball as a primary playmaker, and he's already been paid. So I think right here, and that's not going to happen with Anthony and Suggs, who played 48 games because of their own injuries. And the Wizards can't trade their 2022 first rounder because they still owe a protected 2023 first round pick to Oklahoma City via Houston from the Russell Westbrook John Wall trade in 2020. But they do have a surplus of front court players such as early second rounder Isaiah Todd, who spent most of the year on the G League Capital City Go-Go. And you know Orlando loves the length. And plus, look, you could argue that Markelle Fultz, who's from Upper Marlboro, DeMatha High School, he is on $16.5 million next year, partially guaranteed in the following year. And he's a defensive leader, defensive-minded point passer. He could go get going. And he also went to, same school as Corey Kispert. And I think, look, I was talking about Jalen Suggs right there. But look, Jalen Suggs went to school with Corey Kispert. I forgot that I didn't say his name. Markelle Fultz, we stopped talking about it, but the other guy they could try to target is Jalen Suggs, but I don't think they're going to trade him. So, but the reason why they would try to trade for somebody like that, Jalen Suggs, is because they want to get the cheap contract. But if they wanted to go for the cheap contract, they would go for Cole Anthony in my mind. Like, you wouldn't go for Jalen Suggs. And I don't think that would happen either way. But if they traded for Markelle Fultz, they could send Corey Kispert and Isaiah Todd over there. And there's the Corey Kispert, Jalen Suggs connection. Now I'm done with that. Look, Wes Unseld was marketed as the defensive architect for Denver, and it didn't show in DC. He finished with a 25th defensive rating, 113.6 points allowed per 100 possessions, and KCP was the only player on the roster who's comfortably, handling switches and guarding multiple positions. And I didn't see a lot of indication that more Porzingis at the 5 was the answer, though some advanced stats rated him very well on the defensive side. He does block shots at a high rate for his position per cleaning the glass. He was in the 83rd percentile among bigs in blocking percentage at 2.6% after coming to Washington. He's been regularly in the 90th percentile or higher in his career. Basketball Index LeBron metric ranked him 25th in the league this season in defensive impact per 100 possessions, ahead of other defensive standouts like Matisse Thybulle, Mitchell Robinson, and Alex Caruso. But after the trade deadline, Washington's defense rating soared to 117.4 per 100 possessions per NBA advanced stats. Unless, Wes Unseld said is true at the end of the season that changing defensive habits can take a while, as it did in Denver. So the Wizards did get better at the end. They went from 113.6 to 117.4, and they got a lot better. And how they do it? Unseld took a look at Porzingis and Daniel Gafford together in the last couple weeks of the season, but it was a small sample size, and Gafford still had trouble defending without fouling. But there was kind of something there, and perhaps something with the Gafford at center, Kristaps Porzingis at power forward, reminiscent of what the Cavaliers are doing. And we saw also who was it in the playoffs was doing it. God damn. Another team in the playoffs, Milwaukee Bucks, have done it with Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, and Giannis Antetokounmpo since Chris Middleton got hurt. They can take pages out of those two teams, and you could look, Gafford and Porzingis defensively could be phenomenal. And even Gafford just getting the rebounds, and maybe if they tell him to start shooting threes, to play kind of a Brook Lopez role. And I'm worried about the defense if I'm a front office guy, okay? They need literally just substantial progress simply through better health, more consistency through their lineups and rotations, and more familiarity within the scheme. And the advanced metrics are kind of Porzingis and KCP as consistent defenders. Kuzma did not play to his defensive capabilities for the final 3 quarters of the season, and defense hasn't been Bradley Beal's focus since his rookie deal. And Deni Avdija and Gafford try hard, but they can be hit or misses, even though Deni Avdija for the first third of the season was a defensive god, clapping down people. And I think the Wizards were onto something with Tomas Stanowski at point guard because of the size, switchability, and willingness to defend. But right now, given how the team played last year, I don't think it's reasonable to assume that they'll be a top 10 defensive team without some significant amount of personnel change or perhaps a change to Wes Unseld's schemes. And I think, look, KCP is a plus defender, but he's not an elite one. Deni Avdija had his moments, like I said. Rui Hachimura in 2020 to 2021 had good moments, but neither of all those 3 players are lockdown defenders, okay? Unless, Washington had some great luck in the lottery and they could get somebody. But Dyson Daniels, Jeremy Sohan are all players that they could get. I mean, in that range, Ochai Agbaji would be great, okay? If you want a point guard, Ty Washington. If you want a guy a little bit older who can score, Johnny Davis. If Jeremy Sohan or AJ Griffin are there, take him. Benedict Mathurin, take him, okay? But if I'm them, Ochai Agbaji or even, Dyson Daniels, Jeremy Sohan are all guys that I'd be very much interested for the Wizards. Damn, this is a long video. But basically, that's it. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Hope you guys did enjoy. Because I think we could be good.